Brownie is definitely a dog who enjoys working all kinds of work. Here I'm doing box work with him, and typically box work is done off leash, but since Brownie is a fence jumper, I have him on leash for safety. I am presenting different distractions outside of the box, so Brownie has to work inside of the box with those distractions happening. Some of the work he's doing is choosing to come back towards me when he sees a distraction, or even an exercise we call DMT, distraction mark treat, and that is where I will actually mark and reward him when he looks calmly at a distraction. I am also introducing obedience within the box, such as sit and down. And we're doing the obedience in the box realistically because we want that leash to be as loose as possible. And I can relax more better if I know for sure he cannot pull me to a distraction. And because I really don't want him to feel the leash. I don't want the leash to be communicating to him really at all. Here our distraction is a little tiny dog named Sparkles. Big stretch from Sparkles. And Sparkles does not create any reaction out of Brownie. He can almost couldn't care less that she's there. So Logan is going to work Sparkles on some obedience while I work Mr. Brownie on some obedience. The fence helps everyone feel safe, everyone feel relaxed, including the dogs. Everyone feel relaxed, us be able to move through some paces while working in the same environment. On occasion, someone talks to me, and so you'll see that I can still remain engaged with Brownie even though I'm starting to talk to somebody else. I remain engaged by doing hand targets or just luring positions, and that way I can still work the dog and talk to somebody. So training doesn't stop just because a neighbor is talking to us or a coworker is talking to us or whatever the case may be. We just might change tactics on how we stay engaged with the dog. So here I start talking and I move into doing hand targets just so I let Brownie know I'm still with you, buddy. I didn't forget you were here while I talk to someone else. So I know this clip is long, but we end up working on recalls away from each other where both Logan and myself toss treats so the dogs have to look at each other and we recall them away. So I know it's a long clip. If you want to fast forward, you can keep an eye on some of the obedience that we're doing together. And Brownie just loves to work. He don't really care what kind of work we're doing. He just loves to do it. Here's us moving into recalling each dog away from each other. We try to time it so that the both dogs are looking at each other at the same time. Recall our dogs away. It's just good work, good practice to recall from other dogs. After a brief potty break with Brownie, Logan switches out Sparkles for her sister Sahara, and now I do some work with Sahara with Brownie out of the exercise pen. So now we are going to be working on going to place and freeing off and just remaining engaged while there's a dog in the room without the gate offering any kind of support. Later on in the day, we returned to box work, but with a larger dog and a dog who has a naturally stiff tail. So you're going to see my poodle Grim, and Grim poodle tails are just always sort of more erect. They can't relax even with the spine. The tail just carries that way. And we're going to notice some behavior in Brownie. While his tail is even with his spine, so signifying sort of neutrality, we're going to notice that in Brownie's mouth that his mouth opens and closes quite frequently. He licks his lips quite frequently. And a couple of times he even looks at Grim with a lot of stiffness in his body and in his face. So right here, you're going to notice how he gives Grim a hard stare. His mouth starts to close, and now his mouth is totally closed. He even licks his lips. And I think he felt his leash there, and he did turn around and get his yes and his reward. Mouth opens and closes quite often. So every time the mouth closes, this indicates stress or agitation. His tail remains neutral, so that's kind of an interesting posture for the tail when you can see so much agitation on his face. He doesn't stay agitated for long. He can move into the pattern of this box work that he's now used to. He is accustomed to understanding what this exercise means and what to do. But you can see, again, the mouth opens and closes there for a minute and then returns to a light panting, normal breathing pattern we would want to see in a relaxed dog. So again, the mouth closes quite often. I want you to keep an eye on that. That indicates that he's feeling stressed about it. But he understands the rules of this exercise we're doing here. Box work is great because it doesn't matter what distractions you present outside of the box. Any distraction. Right now we're just working with dogs, but this could be people, this could be cars, bicycles. And then the rules of the box are always the same.